Hello again, this is Dr. Stan Gross, and we're going to speak a little bit about our Cape Aloe Cleanse formula, a safe road to regularity. Is that important? I'll bet you'll think it is. So let's see why. So why do we need to cleanse a bowel? Is there a good reason for that? Well, I think there is. I'm sure you do too. What makes our Cape Aloe Cleanse so special, and who can benefit from it? Let's talk about that a second. Everyone suffers from irregularity once in a while. And it's not just a simple clog. It's about fluid dynamics. It's about a lack of normal flow, right? We need to eliminate the waste. And so being regular is being healthy. So I just love this picture. Now, you may think that's strange, but guess what? A lot of people don't know what it means to be regular. Being regular, it means just what it says, every day. What do I mean every day? Well, the transit time for food from mouth to exit is typically 24 hours. And if you're eating 3 meals a day, you need to be going at least twice a day in some substantial way. And I won't get into great details with this, but you need to be going twice a day in a substantial amount. And if you're not, guess what? You're constipated. So here's all kinds of reasons why you can be constipated. You could have low water intake, and that's a lot of people. We don't understand that we need 6 to 8 glasses of water every day to keep everything moving. And as I tell people in sedentary lifestyle, your bowels will move when you move. So if you're active, it will, increase. Controlling the urge. Well, who does that? Well, doctors, nurses, truck drivers, teachers, students. The student raises their hand too many times to go to the bathroom. They get reprimanded, so they just hold it. Now, lots of different jobs where you just cannot leave or excuse yourself. Well, that's not good. Refined foods. Well, nobody watching this eats refined foods, do you? Well, of course you do. Everyone does. So that's going to slow down traffic. Believe it or not, especially for chronic sufferers, the overuse of laxatives, because many of those use a chemical stimulant to get the bowel moving, but guess what? Your body gets used to that. And so you need more and more, and it works less and less. Changes in life. Now, you know what? No excuse for that. The older you get, the more active you should become, and the healthier your diet should become. So if you have a healthy diet and you're active, age doesn't make any difference. But it can if you buy into the typical story. Don't do that. Too much dairy products? Yeah, well, not only that, too much food that has no fiber content. Too much bulk and not enough fiber, so we need to increase that. Alcohol and caffeine. The alcohol is a neurodepressant, so it shuts down the nerves that tell your body to push things along. And caffeine, while a little bit can actually be a bowel stimulant, too much of it actually shuts everything down. Why is that? Well, caffeine, I don't know if you've ever overdone caffeine. Most people have. You get jittery, you become irritated, become anxious. That puts you in fight or flight or sympathetic dominance. And the bowels work on the other nervous system, the parasympathetic. So we need to watch our caffeine intake. Physical and mental stress. Well, when you're stressed, again, sympathetic dominant, you don't have the opportunity for the correct nervous system to kick in for things to be eliminated. Worms, parasites in the bowel. Not only do they deprive your body of nutrient, they stop the crossing of nutrients from the bowel into the bloodstream. They're parasites, is what they do. And they're more common than you can imagine. Health conditions, especially if you have an inflammatory issue, inflammatory issues send fluid elsewhere but not to the bowel. Also increase sympathetic dominance, so you don't have the urge to go. You don't have enough fluid to go. And medication, certain medications, opioids in particular, can shut down traffic, so we don't need that. We need to be regular. So we can do food. You can eat papaya. They're not always in season. I love papaya. Every time it's in season, I eat as much as I can get my hands on. Prune juice, and we all know the story about that. You can drink a small glass of it and maybe get lucky and it'll work, and then you just take a little bit more and it overdoes. Ripe bananas, well, how ripe? Well, it should be freckled. There should be brown spots all over if you're using it to relieve constipation. Otherwise, if they're too green, they'll actually slow things down. Same is true with apples. Cabbage works great. Eat plenty of cabbage, especially raw. Problem is cabbage has a secondary effect in that it can cause flatulence. So, you can do the natural thing with fruits and foods and so forth, but you can end up with some unpleasant surprises if you get carried away, if you know what I mean. So, Cape Aloe Cleanse takes the guesswork out of it and resolving the problems of occasional irregularity. And if you look at the ingredients, you can see it's all food-based. Like all of our products, it's food-based. And it's very, very safe. We put warning labels on here because, we're dealing with society that if a little is good, a lot is better. Just take it as directed unless, told otherwise. Well, 1 to 2 capsules taken at bedtime with 8 ounces of water is good. Short-term cleansing program, 1 to 2 capsules taken at bedtime, 8 ounces of water for up to 15 days are directed by a healthcare physician, and do not repeat for 6 to 8 weeks. Just common sense, right? You don't want to be living on a natural product that is designed to do what? To increase bowel motility. You want the natural rhythm to take place on its own. So it's extremely gentle and predictable if taken as directed. The senna leaf and Cascara sagrada has been used for centuries to help, break down the waste and promote normal bowel rhythm. Fennel seed has a dual purpose. It draws fluid into it. So does cayenne pepper, draws fluid into the intestines from the omentum and the interstitium. And so all these things work in harmony with your body's normal flow. So who can safely take it? Well, if you're thinking of little kids, and little kids, they come down with constipation as well. And I see it quite often in my office. And I'll have little toddlers, if they're eating food, I don't want to get into earlier than that. If you do, we have to work closely with the pediatrician. But if you have a toddler, somebody who's eating food on a regular basis, gets constipated, 1 capsule per day, typically before bed, right? Within, a day or 2, normal rhythm should be restored. Don't go beyond 6 days. If it happens to go beyond that, consult your pediatrician. What about preteens? Well, actually, they have the same bowel rhythm and motility and metabolic exchange as an adult, so normal adult dosage is perfectly fine for them. And because they're active, they normally respond within a day or 2. And what about seniors? Well, pretty constipated group of people, actually. I know at age 63, every once in a while things kind of slow down. 6 to 7 days if you haven't reached your goal taking the normal dosage, consult a physician. But I'm telling you, in a day or 2, typically with Cape Aloe Cleanse, normal rhythm is restored. So should you keep taking it? Here's my rule of thumb on that. Take it when the normal rhythm is restored. Take it for another day or 2. So if it comes back in 2 days, take it for 4 days. If your bowel is normal at that time, put it on the shelf and wait until you need it again. Shelf life on this product is rated at 2 years, but it remains fresh and effective for up to 5 years. So you're all right. Taken as directed, our Cape Aloe cleanse is safe and effective for the majority of people. There's a lot of common sense to be applied with it, but obviously use it with the blessings of a good mind and great guidance. You have questions? I'm sure you do. If you do, you can reach at info@Sano Global Nutrition or just directly to me at Dr. Stan at sanoglobalnutrition.com. And I'd be delighted to address anything that you have in mind. I look forward to hearing from you. We're going to be doing this again on all of our products, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.